morning. Hope everyone on the East Coast is safe and dry.
Jinx.
What?
I said and dry.
Oh, you did? I didn't hear. I thought you said I. Why is she saying that?
Good morning, Anthony. This is my first time seeing you today.
It is. Yeah. Congratulations. Welcome to the show, Carla Marie.
Thanks.
I see you're wearing your Rutgers shirt. I'm wearing my Seton Hall hat. Was Rutgers all flatted out? Because I know they started classes at Seton Hall, and then they basically told everyone today is off.
I don't know. We're supposed to have our first game tonight.
Oh, football?
Yeah, but, we're on the banks of the old Raritan, so.
Yeah. I mean, you saved yourself a loss, which is nice.
Temple.
Temple's not a bad team. They used to be really bad. They actually got themselves kicked out of the Big East a long time ago because they were so bad at sports. But they've rebounded a little bit.
How's everyone in the chat doing who lives in New Jersey?
I know I spoke to Lenny on Instagram, and he's living on a hill. I know it's funny because normally the smallest storm in New Jersey will take my parents' power out for like a day.
Yeah.
And they only lost power for about an hour or so, and it came back on. But they're also on a hill, so there was no flooding there.
I think also by the time it hit North Jersey, I don't think the wind was that bad. It truly was just rain.
Bridget did say, though, that Ridgewood is a mess and schools are closed, which sucks because they just started, and now you got to figure out what to do with your kids.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Well, parents really aren't going anywhere either. So,
That's true.
It's crazy right now. Like my family, everyone is safe. Everyone is currently fine. My niece has to, I say evacuate, but it sounds so intense, but they're being told to evacuate their homes. Mm-hmm. She lives in Lincoln Park, New Jersey, which is near it's not a creek. It's something else. But once the Passaic
Is it a river?
No, once the Passaic River crests in like 2 days, it's going to overflow into something else and then flood her neighborhood. So
Are they by a reservoir or something?
I'll tell you right now. They just texted
What is even by that?
Her and her boyfriend were what? Sorry. They're literally driving out and her car is not making it. So they had to use a different this is like all unfolding right now. They had to take everything from like the first floor of their house and move it up to the second floor. Like right now their street has some water, but it's like the street is fine, but it's about to be bad.
You know what's interesting? So Carla Marie had CNN on yesterday, and I just kept thinking as I was watching CNN, this is why the rest of the country hates New York and New Jersey. Because Louisiana went through all of this like 3 days ago, and yeah, people were talking about it, but it didn't get nearly the coverage that New York and New Jersey do.
Well, it did. You just didn't watch it. And you weren't in it. You weren't surrounded. You know
and maybe it's because I know so many people that are tweeting and posting about it. But
unfortunately, this is common for places like New Orleans and Louisiana. Seeing the New York subway system it wasn't this bad for Sandy. And I was just talking about this on our Instagram Live a second ago. People were like, this is worse than Sandy. And it is because Sandy was over almost a 2 to 3 day period of rain. This happened so fast, there was not enough time for it to drain. It would be like, imagine instead of taking a shower, all of a sudden, all this water was in your bathtub and it needed to drain it. It's not going to happen. And my town got 8.8 inches of rain in like 2 to 3 hours. Rutgers game is moved to Saturday.
Oh, thank God. Thank God that Rutgers game is going to happen on Saturday.
It might not.
Rutgers Temple.
Honestly, if that river
it's supposed to be a home game?
Yeah, if that river overflows, which is very possible, it's going to be a shit show.
Big Temple fan over here. Love Temple.
My family my sister lives 1 block up from a river, the Passaic River. My parents live 2 blocks up from the Passaic River, luckily on a hill, but I mean, it's going to be a shit show.
Yeah. And I know the warnings that came out saying that it was going to be a bad storm still, I think, were...
I was getting the warnings.
Light on the predictions. What?
Because I get the text alerts still. And I was getting like tornado watch. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that tornado looked crazy.
So if you live in South, it's Mullica.
Did anyone actually see in the chat, did anyone see the tornado themselves?
That's near Rowan University.
Did Jake go there? Or your sister went there?
My sister went there. Jake went to Ryder. And the tornado actually did make its way towards Ryder as well. Okay, so this is what happened with my niece and getting out right now. Okay. So her boyfriend has his work van. He almost didn't make it out of their neighborhood in the work van. She had to ride the train tracks in her car to get to the train
because they're elevated?
So their whole town parks their cars on the train tracks when there's a storm. And she had to ride the train tracks to get out, but I don't even think she got out. I think she had to leave it at the train station.
That's crazy. Do they not use that train track? Or is it just
I
shut down
guess
for now?
It's shut down. But my older sister's house, this is one of the first things to happen. And this is what's crazy. You get, like, I'm in a group chat with my family, and everyone's like, yeah, this rain is insane. Like, and we're, like, making jokes. Not jokes about a tornado, but, like, imagine a tornado hits you. Like, that's so crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, it goes from that to, oh, my God, my house is flooded. Oh, my God, my neighbor's house is flooded. Oh, my God, my neighbor's car is underwater. Oh, no, our basement's full of water. And then my sister, our whole freaking fence just fell, and the retaining wall is in my neighbor's backyard. The fire department's on their way to see if we need to do something with the pool.
It's crazy.
My sister's pool and garage almost fell into her neighbor's backyard. Again, everyone's fine, safety-wise, but, like, my cousin's whole first floor is underwater. Her car is, like, it's all material stuff that it sucks, especially when you have kids.
It sucks. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a nuisance for a lot of people when it comes to property damage and damaged items, cars, things like that. I think because there were a lot of cases of cars being swept into the river and things like that. So the main thing is we hope everyone's safe first.
I know.
And then everything else is possessions can be replaced. It's difficult sometimes, obviously. Replacing a car or fixing a house sucks, but as long as everyone's safe around you, hopefully you can have a little gratitude and be thankful for that.
For sure.
I think that's the big thing. Because I know there was at least one person dead in Louisiana.
There was a man, I think it was a 70-year-old man in Passaic last night, but people are still missing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the...
And I know, like, I forgot who was on with Don Lemon yesterday on CNN for the little bit that I was paying attention to it. But the big thing is if you have a car that's working, or if you've got, rain boots and you can go help someone around you. Like, this is where communities are really supposed to come together and help each other out.
But you're not really supposed to be walking through water, especially if it's in your own basement.
I saw Lisa earlier in the chat saying it's a shame that the day is so nice today.
It's crazy.
In New Jersey.
Yeah.
I saw my friend Courtney posting from Lake Hoboken, basically.
Yeah.
It just looked beautiful, but all the streets were completely submerged.
It's bizarre.
Thank you to everyone who's still subscribing, following, all of that. I just saw Sarah and Dennis both subscribed, and we do have the DTO, the daiquiri timeout,
a bartender's handshake,
which is essentially a daiquiri specifically for taking a shot or a shooter, which we found out recently this week actually that they're a shooter and a shot are different things. A shot is straight alcohol, so you can take a shot of like Jaeger.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And a shooter like this daiquiri timeout is mixed, basically. Lisa, thank you very much.
I love when they pop up so big.
I don't know why it does that. And I don't know if it happens to everyone's chat, but like maybe because it's a gift. Someone else try something. I know this sounds like I'm...
Maybe it's because she's gifted 140 subs to the channel.
That's pretty crazy.
Jordy Matthew just said in the chat, I missed the second half of Monday's show, so I watched it yesterday, which was his first day back in the office. Cool. He said, Carlin Ray's story of the girl following her into the bathroom popped up, and I was laughing out loud so hard my boss had to ask what was going on.
I like that. You've probably still been getting texts about it too, or messages. Zadie, thank you for the 100 bits. Appreciate that. My cousin messaged me yesterday saying, I'm crying listening to the podcast with you and Ricky, and I completely forgot, like, I need to go back and listen to that podcast because I've listened to you and John. I've listened to Erica and Jake. And people keep messaging me about my podcast with actually Ricky's podcast featuring me.
Yeah. Don't try to take it.
It's not my podcast. And like telling me their favorite part about it. And I'm like, oh, I completely forgot that happened.
Okay, I have, do I remember? Ooh, Hype Train Level 3. I have not necessarily a favorite part, but a part I did actually want to bring up on the show.
Okay.
But what are people messaging you about?
So I have a terrible memory, but the one my cousin messaged me, my cousin Michelle said she was laughing about the New Jersey strip club situation that I dealt with.
Oh, I love that story.
With the girl that I went to high school with.
Yeah, but make people listen to the podcast. Don't reveal.
Well, yeah, that's the base level. That's the summary.
I was shocked to understand. I had to lower the volume because my windows were open, and Anthony and Ricky were screaming about dicks and vaginas. Like, screaming.
We were?
The two of you were just so loud, so I had to lower it. But Anthony didn't know this was a thing. Like, whenever we were in high school and, like, boys wanted to, like, make fun of girls or, like, be rude to girls, they'd be like, ew, you have a dirty vagina or your vagina stinks. And Anthony, like, didn't know that that was, like, a thing that people did to be mean to girls in high school. And I was like, it was the worst because you couldn't be like, no, it doesn't. Smell me.
That whole thing, I guess, passed me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure I made fun of people for other reasons.
Well, I said to Anthony, it just means that you weren't a douchebag.
That's not 100% true. That I wasn't a douchebag in that way.
But it was just
very different.
It would be like,
holy crap. Heather just gave us 1,000 bits.
Why?
Thank you very much, Heather. Abby gave us 200. Vicky and Kawaii girl?
Heather,
I don't know
are
how
you
to
okay?
pronounce that. Thank you very much. Did you just ask her if she's okay?
Did you mean to do that?
Is everything okay? Are you sending us a message?
Have we asked, are we Kawaii girl? Can you tell us how to say your name? Is that Hawaiian? We don't want to mess it up.
It could be.
Oh, Heather, thank you.
It could be Kauai, right? I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Did we get through level? Oh, we're at level 5 of the hype train now. Sweet. Thank you very, very much.
But I was just, when hearing you guys talk about guys being like, or people just saying, oh, you have a dirty vagina, I was like, oh my God, no one say that about me. Don't, like, it was just like, you didn't want the wheel to land on you when people were doing that in school.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk about this too, actually. And then I did not have my sardines today. The sardines are usually my midday snack. If you don't know what we're talking about, you can go back to the last show, either on Twitch or on YouTube.
Warning, if you have a gag reflex.
But I had them again yesterday, and they weren't nearly as bad later in the day with crackers.
I don't want to hear it.
They were fine.
Because
Okay, so Kauai is in the Hawaiian island, and I think I'm saying that right. If I'm saying it wrong, you can feel free to spell it
not
phonetically.
a basketball player?
Well, Kawhi Leonard is a basketball player. But yesterday I was walking from this house to the gym, and I guess it was lunchtime for Ballard High School, which is not far from here.
Yeah.
And it was a flood, no pun intended for the people in New Jersey or New York, a flood of high schoolers coming down for lunch. And not too far down the road, there's like a taco place, there's a pizza place, then there's a Taco Bell. So that's where they were all going, and I kind of got caught up in the current of
were you
students.
Nervous?
I don't know why. We've talked about it before, but I was like, I don't know. They're just going to start making fun of me. They're going to start picking on me.
Throw rocks at you, put a
And I was significantly
sign on your back.
There wasn't even like a big football player like high school kid that I thought I was going to. Yeah, like I walked by and I was significantly larger than all of them.
Yeah.
I had at least a 50-pound weight advantage on all of them. Yeah. But I still was unbelievably nervous just being around that many high school kids because I was like, they're just going to make fun of me. They're going to throw something at me. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
then it's like, well, and then if they do make fun of me, I can't fight them because they're kids.
I don't care.
And I'm going to go to jail. So
beating you up. My really good friend's son goes to that high school, Ballard High School, but he's a sophomore. But he just had his first day in school.
Can we
yesterday?
Can we give him pictures of us and be like, he can distribute it throughout the school and say, don't make fun of these adults when you see them.
You were going to give him a pair of sneakers, so maybe that would be like a
Well, and I am. I didn't decide not to.
Oh. But I'm saying maybe that's like what is that called?
A peace offering?
Peace offering.
Here's a pair of sneakers. Don't beat me up.
Yeah. Oh,
here's my lunch money.
It's producer Bill is in the Twitch chat.
Hey.
And he said everyone wants to take on the big strong guy.
That's true. Maybe they're like, oh, look at this stupid meathead, and they like throw a pizza at my face.
They're probably gonna think I'm in high school, and they're gonna be like,
that's true. You are tiny,
nerd. You don't even go here.
Yeah, exactly. So Scotty brings up a good point. So over the summer, I was walking around Ridgewood Ave in New Jersey, in my hometown of Ridgewood, New Jersey, and 3 different groups of high schoolers like yelled things at me and my brother as we were walking around town. And it's like my biggest fear, and it actually happened over the summer.
I hate it.
Thank you, Jen, for giving us those 100 bits and pushing us right over the threshold for the hype train. So, Carla Marie, you got your shot glasses over there.
I think it only happens in New Jersey, though. Like, I don't think kids here do that.
I think kids everywhere are garbage.
There's
a garbage kid everywhere.
I will school those jackasses.
School them? In what?
Like, you shut up, you dumb idiot. You don't even know anything.
You got him, Carla Marie. Good job. They'll never have a comeback for that.
Wait till you grow up and you have to pay taxes, ass.
They're gonna be like, ew, you pay taxes, you loser.
I just want to like grab something sometimes and like, listen to me, little shit. Stop being a dick. Like, do you have fake fights in your head?
Every day. Without a doubt, every day.
Like, I mean, with people I've never met.
Yeah, absolutely.
One time I was having either a fake fight or preparing for a conversation, and I was at Z100 and I was walking through the hallways on my way to the bathroom, and I must have been looking down and I was like actually like moving, being like dramatic, and Dave Fox, who was the voice of Z100, who would be like, from the top of the Empire State Building, that guy, he was like, are you winning the argument? And I was like, and he was walking like towards me down the hall, and I was like, I guess.
Absolutely. I mean, I have, you know how many times I have had, well, back when I had a job before they fired us, but how many times I would have like my speech ready in my head of like, all right, if they say this, I'm quitting, and this is how I'm going to do it.
I have, if I ever run into like certain ex-bosses, things that I would say, and to my ex-boyfriend's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it already.
You know what's funny? I was talking to another former Seattle coworker of ours, who got let go a little bit after us, and I was talking to him last week, and we were both saying how like we have these scenarios very similar to you, Carla Marie, where there's one specific executive who, if we come across in person,
rap battle.
And then I thought to myself, I'm like, I actually don't want that to happen because I think the flood of emotions would lead to
I'm gonna pass out.
a bop in the nose.
Yeah.
Not like I'm not gonna be like super violent, but just like I'm gonna make you tear up real quick. One of my favorite things, just the bop to the bridge of the nose, and that's what I would do.
I'm gonna go right in between the legs. Scotty said, hashtag kids are garbage is definitely different than hashtag you look great.
Yes.
I think it should be a branch of the you look great department.
What if it was like, you know how back in the day, kids would have to sit in the corner wearing like a dunce hat?
Yeah.
We could get, like, when your kid's time out or whatever, you put them in a oversized kids are garbage shirt.
Or you look great, you know, like you're still like, you know, you're going to get through this.
You're nicer than I am. Cheers. Our daiquiri timeout. It's way easier to drink in the morning. Not that you should be drinking in the morning, but it is.
A little bit. It just got me.
What was that move?
The citrus mixed with the alcohol. I think that you didn't actually mix it.
Oh, I didn't. You're right. I just put it in the shaker cup, and then I left it here because I was going to mix it later, and then I forgot. So
thank you to Seattle Cocktail Club for making that amazing drink that Anthony just ruined.
Well, listen, I was trying to eat my breakfast before the show. So
Ooh, it's burning. Wait, Fueled by Dana said this is what the shirt should say. You could look great, but you're being a jerk right now instead.
Yes, I like that. The shooter does look, it is yummy.
We're going to have them get the recipe. Post it to their website.
So
Wait, you have something to say right now?
Go for it, whatever.
Go.
No, it's not. Just go. Say whatever you
No, yours, because mine's going to be longer.
Just go, Carla Marie.
Okay, so. Are you going to remember? You never remember.
Yes, I'll be fine.
When you were gallivanting at your bachelor party, my friend
Yes.
Angela came over, and we watched the entire season of Tattoo Redo on Netflix.
How many episodes is it? And how long was she here?
A while. I think it's like 8. And
Okay.
the whole point of the show is like there's these world-class tattoo artists, and there's people that have terrible tattoos,
Okay.
and their friends bring them on the show. So it would be like you and I going on the show, and you being like, my girlfriend has an ugly-ass hibiscus flower tattoo that has been ruined and half like removed on her hip, and she needs to get it covered up.
Okay.
And they would say, okay, tell us about it, blah, 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 you know, the regular show. And then they drop the bomb of, well, here's the funny thing, Carla Marie. You don't get to pick what your tattoo cover-up is. Anthony gets to pick for you.
Oh, wow.
So you then work with the tattoo artist.
I don't want that kind of pressure.
I know. To figure out what.
Does the friend who submits their friend, does the friend who submits the person with a bad tattoo know ahead of time
Okay. So.
that they're supposed to pick a tattoo?
No, but these people are terrible actors. So
Okay.
we couldn't figure out if they actually knew or not. So here's my question, and I'm curious. We go on this show.
Yeah.
You're working with a tattoo artist. What are you putting on my hip to cover up?
That's a
They'd
tough
be like,
one.
what does she like? Does she want colors?
I mean, because it's also a pretty big tattoo.
I can actually show it. Normally we do this conversation on the radio.
I would go for it.
Well, let's see.
The cats were my first thought. I know a lot of people are saying that in the.
It actually doesn't look
the
bad
chat.
on there. It just looks like a birthmark, but it's.
Maybe a tattoo that somehow combines like a scenic thing from New Jersey with like the Space Needle
Like, what do you
or
mean,
Smith
the
Tower.
Bayonne Bridge.
I don't know. Like, what's that big?
So you're gonna now. Here's the other
yeah.
thing. Now, when you get a cover up, it's on the show. Apparently, it's like 5 times the size of what the actual tattoo is, which is so unnecessary.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is I don't like. It's a weird spot for a big tattoo. I don't know. I mean, the cats are definitely a good starting
Like
point,
2 little cat faces.
but that's also
That's
it's weird. What?
it's just weird spot to have 2 cats.
Well, let's see. Yeah, what is the tattoo? Said Kelsey.
Oh, it was maybe next week on the show we'll actually pull up the photos of it close up that I used to have.
Mhm.
It was a hibiscus flower that I had touched up several times, and the tattoo artist accidentally used colors that I didn't ask for. He just got confused. So it looked like I had a giant purple bruise
It's
on my
pretty
hip.
gross.
And then I had 16 removal sessions before I moved to Seattle. And it's pretty faded now.
So why don't you? Can you find someone that does the removal here?
I could.
Does it hurt though?
I'd rather.
Is it like getting 16 more tattoos?
I think no, it's so
Oh,
much
okay.
work. I'd rather get a tattoo before I did that again.
Really?
Yeah, pain-wise. I think I'd rather have a kidney stone pass. I think I'd actually also rather have a cyst rupture.
Than that?
I think so, yeah.
That's crazy.
Because it's not just, it's heat and fire, like burning your skin, and yeah, you're numbed, but then like you basically just would have a blister the size of the tattoo. Like, so remember when my leg burned and it was a blister?
Yes.
That's
Ooh,
what I
that's
had.
gross. Let's see. Someone said, nope, I've had kidney stones. They're awful. Did you ever have kidney stones? I've thankfully, never had any of those things.
Not like laser removal at all, Elizabeth.
Oh, an anchor is actually a good one, though. Kelsey in the Twitch chat said, I regret my anchor tattoo. But, like,
You're not getting an anchor.
but your dad has boats.
Okay.
And
My dad has a boat.
a boat. He has had
My
boats.
dad has a fleet.
He has had boats.
Okay, wait. So what
You're
am I
named
getting?
after a boat, or the
So-
boat was named after you.
So now as they're doing the tattoo, like they put something, so I would be laying down, they would put like a curtain up so I can't see what's happening.
Okay.
And you would just like sit there during the whole time. But, so what am I getting? And what colors?
You'd probably get a combination of like 16 tattoos because as they were starting the first thing, I said, like, no, do this instead. And then I don't know. Or maybe I'd do something like real stupid, like a Liger from Napoleon Dynamite.
I honestly don't know what I'd want, but whatever it is, if it ever happens, I don't want color.
So
I want
just black and white.
black shading.
Okay. Yeah,
And then I was like, okay, what if I was on a show where I had to pick a tattoo for Anthony? Like, this is just a fun thing to play with your friends.
okay, then what would I get?
I have no fucking idea.
Because I don't either. Otherwise,
I
I'd
was
have
like,
one.
I'd probably get that quote you always say. Hold on. Don't talk. I'll remember it. I would tell them to put,
I didn't even know I had a quote.
yeah. The way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Oh, that's not my quote, though.
No. Like, you like it, though. And you would get it right here so you can remember. Right? But
I
then
don't know if I like it that much.
I would, like, you have hair. So
Yeah, I do.
where do you want it?
Nowhere.
Here?
The middle of my back, I guess. I don't know.
Just a cat that could grow.
No, it would be a real weird cat.
Ooh, D1. Just get D1 on you. People think it stands for, like, dick.
Dick one. I don't think that's what they're going to think it stands for. Let's see. What is this from, Vicky?
Vicky said, my husband went for a tattoo with our daughter's initials, LMV, but the M was her astrological sign, Virgo, so it looks like an M and her birthday in Roman numerals, but we didn't realize the artist drew it opposite, so now he has VML.
That's
tattooed on him.
that sucks.
And this is why I tell people, and Ricky just said when she was an intern, I basically told her don't ever get a tattoo, and now she wants a sleeve.
She does have a tattoo, right?
I don't think so.
I think, doesn't Ricky have a tattoo like here or something? Am I making that up?
You're making that up.
Yeah, she has two.
What? Where?
Ricky, do you have one near your shoulder? Collarbone, shoulder area. Let's see. There we go.
Oh. Wait, you have a butterfly. What does Erica have?
Ricky and I are best friends.
Doesn't Erica have a tattoo of a butterfly?
I don't think Erica has any tattoos.
I think she does.
I think she was going to get a butterfly tattoo, and now she's not going to.
That's true, but I think she has another one. But
Erica, you here?
I honestly, like, the rule of 18 to get a tattoo. I mean, granted, like, yeah, people need to learn from
Yeah,
their
but you didn't get
mistakes.
yours at 18.
On my 18th
Oh, you
birthday,
did?
my parents gave me a gift card to get a tattoo because I
Wow.
begged them.
That's silly.
And they're idiots for I blame them for this because it's terrible parenting. But they let me get my tattoo. But this tattoo I got, Enjoy Your Life, when I was probably 26,
Mhm.
and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Like, I was able to make a freaking decision. And I keep my nieces have tattoos, and like a
Are they
decent-
stupid tattoos?
yeah, and like
What's
I'm
the
like-
stupidest tattoo one of your nieces has?
one of them has something in Arabic, and I don't think she knows what it actually says. I've sent you a picture.
Does she like me that much?
No.
She was like, Anthony's impressed me so much. I'm going to get his
Alyssa-
native tongue.
And Alyssa has a Minnie Mouse outline on her foot.
Foot tattoos are weird, and this is why I have a weird thing with foot tattoos. A, I don't like feet, but I feel like anytime I see, especially a mom with a foot tattoo, I just think like, oh, that's your sign to everyone that you used to party.
Yeah.
Like and maybe it's totally off, but every time I see a mom with a foot tattoo, I'm like, oh, those were back from your hoe days.
Well,
I get
like,
it.
My sister, for example, her and her two best friends from college. This is my favorite thing to talk about. I think you know where I'm going.
Oh yeah.
Her and her two best friends from college are the chuggiest because they
The
got,
chuggiest.
live, laugh, love. They each got one of the words tattooed like under their boot on the side of their boob. So my sister just has laugh.
That's idiotic. Did they pull straws for who got laugh, or did she say, I want laugh on my chest
When and it's not even like
or rib cage?
it's literally in like the most basic home goods font you could get. And when she sent me the photo, I think I was in Jersey City somewhere, and she sent me the picture, and I was like, you're an idiot. It says laugh on your boob.
Yeah, that is really dumb. Abby J1010 said, I'm a mom. I have 2 foot tattoos that I got in my 30s. So no, not
There you
true.
go.
All right.
And by the way, Adrian just said every time Carla Marie says yeah, 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 it reminds me of yeah from The Sandlot.
Oh, yeah. What?
He just said yeah.
What else was I supposed to say there?
Jalen said, I have a tattoo on each foot, and tramp stamps make me think of your hoe days.
Oh, yeah. Tramp stamps definitely are. Listen, and sometimes during your hoe days, your hoe down days, you get a tattoo, and it sticks with you forever.
I guess.
Why did you just make that really sad face?
Well, Jill said, I have my son's left thumbprint in the shape of a heart on my foot. He had a stroke in utero and has weakness with his left thumb, but after years of therapy, he can use
That's
it.
awesome. I mean, I think when people see tattoos, they ask like, oh, what's the story behind that tattoo? They expect something as deep and
As that.
heartwarming as that. And normally it's like, I don't know, I was drunk in Vegas.
Me? I don't know. I saw a decal at a Seaside Boardwalk t-shirt shop, and I thought it was cool, and I took a picture on my Kyocera, it was a flip phone, and went to the tattoo artist and was like, can you do this pink hibiscus flower? And the girl was like, the first place said to me, no, I'm not going to do those pinks on you because they're going to fade. And I was like, you don't get my business. I went to the other place, and the girl said, yeah, I can do it, except I'm going to fix it because the stem looks like a dick. And it did.
It was probably all pixelated too with that Kyocera phone or flip phone or whatever you had.
Needless to say, the first guy was right. It faded. And that the inks kept fading. And that's why I had to keep going back to get it touched up. And finally I went to a new place to get it touched up. And I went into a book, the tattoo book, and I said, I want my flower to look like this flower, but with blue shading. I just want a thin black outline, blue shading. And the guy said, okay. But I had pointed to a purple flower. And he's doing my tattoo. Scranton, Pennsylvania, by the way, home of The Office, Dunder Mifflin. And I look down, I go to my friend who went to school there. I was like, why is he putting purple on me? And she's like, I don't know, maybe it's just part of the color thing. Let me ask. And she asked him, and he's like,
Why didn't you ask him? You were right there.
I was scared.
Oh.
He was like, you pointed to the purple flower. I said, yeah, and I told you blue. He's like, don't worry, I'll do it. So he left some of the pink, put blue and purple, left with the bruise.
So you know what's funny though? I think you did something, and we're seeing it happen now more and more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you did. I mean, you had the internet then, but not the way we have it now. You went to an expert in tattoos, a guy whose job
Well,
it
he's
is.
old too. He'd been doing it for years.
His job was to put ink in people's skin. You told him what you wanted. He said, this is not a good idea. And you said, well, instead of listening to this expert who knows way more about tattoos than I do, I'm just going to go find someone else who tells me exactly what I want to hear. And the reason I bring it up is because it's like, that is a little sliver of insight into the human mind that shows how people end up finding all of the information that they want on the internet. So if you tell someone like, hey, Joe Biden's the president, and they go, no, he's not. Donald Trump's my president. And then they find a blog somewhere that tells them
An opinion
that Donald
article.
Trump is still the president. They're like, see, I told you. Same thing with the coronavirus. People are eating horse medication.
Who calls it that?
Huh?
What is this, March 2020?
with COVID. But it really is insight. They're like, oh yeah, people don't want to hear facts.
just
People
want
want to
the
hear the
answer.
things they already
So
have
true.
built up in their heads.
Completely agree with you.
Whether it's tattoos
And it's even
or-
worse when you're 18.
or the novel coronavirus,
Stop.
as they used to say back in the day.
Stop. I can't.
When I still hear the novel coronavirus, I'm like, guys, we get it. Like, it's the newer coronavirus, but let's just go with COVID. We know what we're talking about here.
Seems like there's a lot of people in this chat who have pink hibiscus tattoos. Maybe we should all go on the tattoo redo on Netflix together.
Maybe you should all find a time machine and undo those tattoos.
I would, if I could go to a time machine, well, and then, like, how many times can I use it?
I guess you have to use it twice. You got to get there and back.
Oh. Well, then I would probably go back to being a kid and hang out with my grandpa.
That'd be nice. I don't know where I'd go. It's a great
Maybe
question.
I'd go back to being a kid. Do I know everything I know now? And tell him to tell me not to get a hibiscus tattoo.
But if you knew everything that you knew now, why would he have to tell you to not get the tattoo? You would know in your
I
brain.
don't know how time machines work.
They don't. They don't. Someone, what? Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah, the horse.
I don't know that we can go there.
Well, I don't know. Joe Rogan got COVID, and I guess he's taken that horse. What is it? It's not a horse vaccine. It's a
medication. Ivectormin. How did you say it?
Why can't I think of what it is? Yeah, that's the name.
Ivermectin. It's a horse
It's a dewormer. There you go. Thank you, Becky and Sunali.
Yeah. I don't believe
And
that he
Lisa.
actually took it. I think he's actually just trying to kill people.
No, I think he could be just trying to like.
But he said he did.
Yeah, but
All I could think is like Spotify, man. You gave him so much money. And
oh no,
then he went
they're
crazy.
still behind him, which is
Yeah, but like
I think Spotify's stance on him and what he's said about COVID and what he's doing now is basically we have millions of creators on our platform, and we do have rules and guidelines. And as long as they don't break those rules and guidelines, they can say whatever they want.
okay, wait, so many things. Marijuana said it's a dewormer, but it sounds like a Power Ranger villain.
It does.
True. Duck Rain's first time chatter says, so glad you guys are on Twitch now. Miss you guys so much. Where are you from? Tell
Miss you
us your
too.
name. I'm assuming it's not Duck. Could be. And then Naara, who works at a pharmacy here in Seattle, just said she gets so many calls about that drug.
So, Naara, and I don't know if you're allowed to say this or not. When you get
Okay.
calls and people are like, oh, can I get that horse dewormer? Can you be like, guys, that's a bad idea. It's made for horses. Stop it.
Let me come answer the phone. I used to do it for a living. Just not at a pharmacy.
Let's see. Joe
Sonali-
Rogan also took a lot of regular drugs to pump it out of his system. Here's the crazy thing, though. The wild thing to me is you have people who are not going to listen to actual doctors, but they'll listen to a veterinarian.
Well, Naro, when people call her, you're like, no, this is not a vet. Like, what do you say? Yeah, I don't know.
The world is ending.
Someone who were to go? Oh, Dana and Sonali are talking about Charles Darwin, and Dana said Charles Darwin is somewhere shaking his head. I think he's somewhere going, theory checks out.
This is how it happens. This is how it happens. There was a question a second ago. How do I subscribe from an Amazon Prime account? There is a video that takes you through the steps on our YouTube channel. I don't have the link available, but you can check that out. It's Carla Marie Anthony Show on YouTube, and it'll take you through all those steps. I think there might be like one or two things that have been updated since then, but you should be able to figure it out with that video.
Duck Rain says, I'm from Seattle. Listening to you guys on the radio was my daily routine. That's so freaking cool.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for making us part of your morning again on Twitch.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why? How did you find us today?
It's a great question.
Did you just see a newsletter, or did you just get Twitch, or were you always on Twitch? Did you happen upon us? I have so many questions.
I wish we had the phone set up. We could have done a whole interview with Duck.
Okay. We don't.
I do need to set that back up again because I think we should start bringing more people on.
I was thinking the same.
This is actually a good question for everyone in the chat. Should we bring the phone line back and have people call in? That is the question.
So on Monday.
This coming Monday?
Yeah, it's Labor Day. We will be live.
We might have a guest, possibly.
We might have a live in studio guest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's not.
What?
Sorry, I was reading.
Come on, let's go here.
Well, it's not a surprise. Like we can.
Let's leave a little bit of suspense.
Okay.
For Monday.
All right, everyone's saying yes. Bring back the phone.
Okay. What were we gonna say about Monday, though?
Well, I can't now.
What else were you gonna say? You could say everything you were gonna say without that person.
About the guest.
Okay, well, talk about it, but don't use their name.
Okay, we have a friend who randomly booked a ticket here, on Monday? Yeah, last minute because he was like, "Fuck it, YOLO," and he's coming here, and we're gonna go to Mount Rainier this weekend, do a little hike ski. Not a hike.
If you've got your favorite hike at Mount Rainier, definitely shoot us a DM and let us know.
No, Anthony's cousin is coming the following weekend, and we're going to do a bake-along.
Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot going on in this channel, and a lot going on here, I guess. There's going to be visitors, and then I leave to go to Austin.
I don't know that people in this chat are actually going to know the person who's coming this weekend. Some might. Like a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it'll be a really cool conversation to have with that person about their life.
You're the worst. What I was going to say before we got off on the tangent of tattoos and all of that stuff was everyone has been asking, no joke, everyone I've talked to since Tuesday has been asking me about the sardines.
Oh, God.
And the diet that I'm doing right now, or the meal plan, I should say, that I'm doing. Because I feel like diet, when you use that word, you think someone's trying to lose weight, and that's not the case
really,
here.
just what you eat is your diet.
Yeah. But this is a specific meal plan that goes along with the workouts I've been doing. And after I got back from Nashville, I kind of got off of that. Fully did it yesterday. And I had oatmeal, like regular person oatmeal for the first time, not like a Quaker instant made for kids.
Oh, yeah.
With all the flavors.
That go?
It is hot garbage.
Yep.
Literally, it's hot and it tastes like garbage.
You have to you have to add, which I don't think you can, but like I'll add cinnamon to it.
I did put cinnamon.
And sometimes you can do brown sugar, but you probably can't.
No, I don't think I'm going to do brown sugar, but I did cinnamon. It made it a little bit better. But also, is all oatmeal gluten-free, or do you have specific gluten-free? Like, I'm wondering if I get regular oatmeal, if it'll be better, because you've got, like, some real trendy crap downstairs.
It's from Thrive Market.
Yeah, it's real trendy. It's the guy signs the back of the bag. His name's Bob. I read his message to everyone who eats his oatmeal.
Bob's Oats.
Yeah, Bob's Oats. That's what I'm eating. What happened to Quaker and their oats?
It's not as healthy.
How do you know? They're just oats. How do you make oats unhealthy?
You add unnecessary ingredients in them so that they can.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the packets that I used to love with like all the flavoring. Yeah, strawberry and cream.
MC Part said add fresh blueberries, dude.
Can't do that. I can't add more fruit than I get one apple a day to keep the doctor away.
Did Joe Rogan tell you to do this diet?
No, his name's Dr. Jim Stepani.
I think they're the same.
No, they're not.
I think it's
Joe Rogan could handle Dr. Jim Stepani.
I think that it is actually the same person, and they're aliens, and they're like the same person, and one is like trying to be, oh, I'm super healthy, but I'm secretly going to kill these people by making them eat sardines. And Joe Rogan's just the other alien.
I don't know. I've been putting up some good numbers in the gym on Dr. Jim Stepani's plan. And when I actually do follow the plan, I feel pretty good. I have like a lot of energy. It's pretty great. The only thing I'm not doing in his plan is
it's not the plan. It's that you're not eating takeout.
Yeah.
Like if you followed any meal plan in the world other than ordering cheeseburgers every day, and
Stop that.
you'd be fine.
Stop that. No.
You're an idiot. You're like not even looking at the actual writing on the wall. It's something you're just following a plan.
Yeah, but if I don't have an actual plan for my meals, then all I'm going to do is eat fast food and take out.
Fueled by Dana said that guy probably has stock in sardines. He definitely has stock in some kind of canned fish.
No, I don't think he does, and I'll tell you why. Because if he did have stock in a sardine company, he would, tell me the sardine company. And maybe if he has the stock in the commodity of sardines, that's a possibility, but he'd have it more than just 6 days out of the 4 weeks. You know what I mean? It would be like a daily sardine thing.
I think he maybe has stocks in the people that open the cans. You know, like the company that pull it back. What company is that? That makes the...
Do you mean the actual... Why are you saying the people that open the cans? What's wrong with your brain?
You know the little ring that you pull?
Yeah.
On your tuna and your
The
sardines?
pull tab?
Yeah. He owns that company.
Is your brain okay? Did you fall this morning?
No, not yet. No, don't say that.
What?
I'm going to Barry's today.
You're definitely going to fall.
Stop, don't say that. I hit 80 classes, by the way, and my biggest fear happened the other day to someone else. I witnessed a girl fall on the treadmill. I tripped. I trip all the time. It's been happening more and more lately. I might cancel the class now because I'm so scared. I witnessed a girl running at 7.5 go down. So it wasn't like sprinting.
No, it wasn't. It was a run.
Not a jog.
Solid run.
She went flat onto the treadmill, and because the treadmill was moving, she slid to the floor and just bounced up. And I literally stopped my treadmill and was like, and I couldn't even. That was it. I wouldn't even.
But
run
she was
fast.
fine.
She was fine. I wouldn't even run fast the rest of the class because I had secondhand fear. But
You should do that. Remake that OK Go video where they're dancing on the treadmills.
That's what it looked like. She went boom, boom.
A couple things in the chat. One is Scotty said, I want to be worst Anthony. He's using my emote. I want to be Anthony Swole, so I'm eating sardines with Anthony. Trust me, you don't have to eat sardines. You can enjoy your life away from the sardines. But you're more than welcome to as well. And then someone asked how I came upon Dr. Jim Stepani and like his plans.
It was a Joe Rogan podcast.
It wasn't a Joe Rogan. I've actually never listened to a full Joe Rogan podcast.
Have.
Part of it, like early on, not early on because he's been doing it forever, but I want to say a couple of years ago, people were like, oh yeah, Joe Rogan's podcast. I listen every day or listen every week. I listened once and I saw the fact that it was 3 hours long. I was like, I'm never going to come back to this. I'm never going to listen to it in one sitting.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. And at the time,
it's definitely changed. I think he used to uncover different like cool health things. Like there was one I listened to about like infrared lighting and there's
he
science
does have some good
behind
guests on, yeah.
Yeah, there's science behind infrared lighting and how good it's for you. But now it's like, you can too much of anything is a bad thing. When you go too far down into these theories, you start hopping a little too far over.
Well, I think the strength of Joe Rogan's podcast is he will talk to anybody about anything, which is also the downfall of Joe Rogan's podcast, is he will talk to anybody about anything. And not everybody deserves a megaphone, especially when it's the biggest megaphone in podcasting, radio, audio, whatever. And I think that's the biggest problem. Does he have good guests sometimes? Absolutely. Is he entertaining? Absolutely. I saw him do stand-up. He was right before Dave Chappelle.
He was great.
Hilarious. He's a great stand-up comedian. But am I going to listen to a 3-hour-long podcast? Absolutely not. And there's also a lot of like what you would call like the toxic bro culture that kind of permeates its way into that podcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dave Chappelle was better.
Yeah.
Because he's the greatest stand-up comedian of all time, in my opinion.
Dude, like him and Joe Rogan get along?
Yeah, they're friends.
There's no way.
I think most comedians actually
I can hear Dave Chappelle being like, Joe Rogan's doing all that white people shit. Dave Chappelle is 100% going to do stand-up talking about how black people would not take a horse dewormer. No. It is a white people thing to do.
But I don't know who. Are you trying to say you don't know who Joe Rogan?
Oh, I saw the message that came in from Hav that said, we used to call Anthony Sardine in high school.
What was the last thing he said they called me?
Spud.
Spud. That's right. Wait, did he say high school?
Yeah.
I didn't go to high school with Hav. I didn't even know Hav existed in high school. We went to rival high schools, though. He went to our third most hated school. So when you go to Ridgewood, you hate Paramus the most.
Okay.
Then you hate Bergen Catholic, and then you hate Paramus Catholic. That's the order of operations.
So Ridgewood High School just likes to pretend they are like a fancy Catholic school, but they're not.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. And we're a pretty highfalutin high school.
You are.
There's a lot of people that hate Ridgewood High School. Amanda, it is okay that you're late. I'm jealous that you just woke up.
It's not okay.
Ooh, there is an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience with Dave Chappelle. And Texas Chris said it's really interesting. I would listen to that one. Mainly because I can listen to Dave Chappelle talk all day.
Yeah.
Like just anything he says, because I feel like he's at a point in his career where everything he does is comedy, but everything he does is also social commentary at the same time.
Yeah.
So if he's doing an interview, it's still funny. If he's doing a stand-up bit, it's still like somehow social commentary.
If it's the Chappelle Show.
The Chappelle Show is still one of the greatest things that's ever been on TV. Did you ever watch it?
With you, like 3 episodes.
But you never actually like sat down and watched it when it was in its prime, like when it was actually on TV? Man, what a show.
Damn, Robbie and Everett just said, my vacation is literally starting now. No cell service for 5 days.
That's awesome. Well,
That's
how are
a
you
dream.
on this? Are you starting like after us? But either way, enjoy. Those are the best vacations. When you can, you might still have your phone with you, and you might take some pictures, but you're not. Are you hitting me?
Sorry, I was stretching my head.
But you, what was I saying? Oh, you might have your phone to take pictures, but you're not going to be checking Instagram or random news all the time. Like, go enjoy yourself, legitimately unplug.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best things out there. Let's see. One of the reasons I love cruises, says Shar from Tampa.
Yeah, but
You can get Wi-Fi on cruises, and because we were working with Norwegian, they wanted us to post. They gave us like their premium,
did we have the captain's Wi-Fi?
basically.
No.
But yeah, most people don't have Wi-Fi on their cruise ships.
I'm just checking the fam group chat.
Ray Styles 19 said I'm going on a cruise next week. Where are you headed?
Okay, everybody's fine.
Everyone's good still?
Everyone got out. No, because I saw Amanda said, hey, Carla Marie's your family okay? Because she just joined the chat, and I was like, let me see. My niece basically left her house. It's fine at the moment, but it will likely flood over the next 2 days. My older sister's house, the retaining wall fell. Currently, everyone is fine. My parents got, the basement's flooded, but not like insurance level flooded, from what I understand. They've been pumping. My brother was pumping his pool and basement the whole night to like keep it safe. So it's not that everyone was just sitting around on the couch all night, but
Yeah, they were
everyone
active.
is fine.
Listen, and in any of those situations, it could have been way worse.
Way worse.
And even if it's property damage, which sucks, like we said earlier, it's still fixable. It's still not a person or a pet.
Right?
Oh, you know what I was going to ask you about? And this is going to get a little deeper, and I think a lot of people are going to have opinions on this. I saw the story yesterday, and it's been circulating through all the different news sources, that there was a woman in Afghanistan who is still, I think she still might be there, but she was saving all of these cats and dogs, and she has there's 100 animals that she has in crates right now, and she's still there, and a lot of people are like, oh, I can't believe the Department of Defense didn't let those dogs on the planes or didn't let those pets on the planes. And I was thinking to myself, I get it, and obviously, if something happened where we had to evacuate and Max and Caroline were here, that would be a very tough decision.
I'm telling you right now, and
But-
I'm not even saying this as a joke.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this over and over again.
Okay.
I will die with them.
Okay, that's fine. And you're allowed to. You're allowed to make that decision.
Okay.
But the weird thing about
If I had a
all
kid.
of the backlash is I agree that it is unbelievably sad.
What Jordy's saying is wrong.
What?
Is that's what you're
Oh,
gonna
there
say.
are no military dogs
There
that
are
are left
no,
back.
it's actual people's
Yeah.
pets who lived in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And the actually Pentagon had to release a statement that said, we did not leave
Yeah.
military dogs there. They are not military dogs.
But here's what I was going to get to is
Still
I
sucks.
understand if you're the Department of Defense and you've got allegedly a timeline and a deadline of when you've got to get all of these Americans out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You only have a certain amount of time, a certain amount of planes. If someone says, "Oh, I've got 3 dogs," and you're like, "Well, I have to let this other person on with their children."
Yeah. No, I get it.
I understand. It's a really weird
I don't think-
reaction.
but like how?
What?
I mean, come on, Delta.
Okay, let me ask you
Send
this.
another plane.
We're somehow being evacuated from a scenario, right? And in the scenario, Carla Marie, you're here with your 2 cats, and your niece, Alyssa, is here with her baby. There's only a certain amount of room on this vessel that we're going to be evacuating on. I would say the baby is the same size as your 2 cats. And you've got to choose. The baby gets the ticket.
He goes and then give another baby my seat. I've
you're
had
saying.
plenty of time on this earth, and this is what I wanted to talk about today on the show also. But I truly would probably just try to fend for myself with the pets, and I know. Like, when the time comes, maybe I'll make a different decision, but I literally would not be able to live my life, like, knowing that I just let them die here. I will cry right now thinking about this, so stop.
And the Rock Flash said, that's an impossible question. I don't think it's an impossible question. It's a crappy question, and I'm not trying to say that the situation is not sad at all. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It is an unfortunate situation, but there are sometimes unfortunate decisions in a situation like that where you're evacuating a country that was just taken over by the Taliban that you have to make. So it's not better or worse that they're military dogs or not military dogs or anything like that. It's unfortunate regardless
I
of...
guess it's also different, like, if it was a natural disaster and I would just, like, die, opposed to, like, possibly being kidnapped in a country.
Yeah.
Like, that's obviously, those are different things. And again, completely not making light of the situation that's happening there because it's fucking crazy. But all those dogs that are still left there there's currently being, because I'm talking to Motley Zoo Animal Rescue because they are in the animal rescue community and talking about like what's happening. And I'm getting some information that like we're not that it's secret information, just information that's not readily out there. And they were like, the woman who was in charge of all of them is also stuck there with them.
Yeah.
So, and that's what you kind of started with.
But it's funny when you start looking at headlines and seeing, like, you literally cannot make everybody happy because there's that story about the woman who's stuck there with those pets and how the Department of Defense did told people they can't bring their pets with them. That's like a rule that they have when they're evacuating people. And then there's the former, I don't know what he would be, but he's British. He's essentially like their form of Marines. I don't know what they call them in London. And he rescued like 100 dogs or 100 pets. And people are like, you didn't rescue people? And it just shows you can't keep anyone happy because no matter what you do, someone is going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
What else do we have here?
Okay, so
And Abby J 1010 said, Anthony, you would just leave the girls behind? If I was fleeing Afghanistan,
okay, but we're not. So
absolutely. I wouldn't be happy about it. I wouldn't be happy about the whole situation.
Hoff just said, I'd rescue 14 dogs and leave Anthony to get eaten by the dogs that were left due to his negligence.
Hoff, go away.
Okay, so, we're not fleeing a country, right?
Okay.
Where there is natural disasters happening. There's fire, there's water, we have the car, we could be saved by an ark, or we can try to go on our own, right? This is my question.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that wasn't my question. There was going to be 2 questions. Are you saving the pets, trying to save the pets on your own, or are you hopping on the ark and just leaving them behind? You're like the bad guy, and what movie is that?
I'm hopping on the ark, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you why. Do you realize how useless I would be in a society that didn't have, like, electricity and things like that?
Jill just said, what a bad day to wear your cat daddy shirt.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I was wearing this. Wanderers41, thank you for the subscription with Prime. No, but you tweeted that or put this on your Instagram story
this is
yesterday.
my question. So, end of the world is happening.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever seen Deep Impact, the end of the movie, tidal wave comes, and the girl just like, fuck it, take me, and like purposely like kills herself essentially, instead of like trying to get to higher ground and blah blah whatever. So I said, I'm at a point in my life where I think I would just let the tidal wave take me. I don't want to I Am Legend this shit, because I don't want to be just fighting every day and then like have to colonize civilization again. Like, I don't want to be responsible for that shit, because then it's a whole nother, like, people are trying to set up who's in charge, and I don't want to deal with it.
Then you have to have a lot of babies if you're trying to repopulate the world too.
I'm doing that either.
So here's where I land on it. If it's like I Am Legend, where there's still electricity and gas and cars and everyone's just dead, except for me, maybe. But if it's like if it's more of like Book of Eli, or one of those post-apocalyptic worlds where I've got to like make things, I can't do it. Like, I'm not a maker. I don't make things.
Wasn't your grandpa literally a carpenter?
Yeah, he's a carpenter. My grandfather was a carpenter from Jerusalem. He's basically Jesus. But great movie, Book of Eli. But again, like, I can't do those things. I don't have the knowledge. And if I can't YouTube it, then what am I going to do? I'm just going to wither away and die anyway. So why delay the inevitable?
Why do I even have my emergency backpack?
I don't know.
I guess if it's like not that bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the only one that dies.
No, like the emergency backpack is like, oh, we lost power and we've got to leave the house and live out of the car for a little bit.
We have so many lighters. I don't know where we got all of these lighters from and for what. Like, we literally only light candles.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm like, should I, like, I'm going to have to grab those, right? When we go.
Lighters?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because then we're going to have to light fires. But you probably shouldn't light fires, because then that's how they find you.
I think you're combining a lot of different end of world scenarios. Like,
we watched that, what's that called? Army of the Dead? What was that Vegas one?
Yeah.
And I'm like ready for zombies now.
But so you have to, whether you want to survive or not, Carla Marie, I think is also dependent on the end of the world situation you're looking at. Is it zombies? Is it a explosion? Is it like World War III? Like, what are we? Is it a flood?
It's everything. You just need to be prepared for every situation.
Yeah, but I'm not tackling all of those at the same time. Because chances are, if all of those things happen at the same time. You
can tell me right now, if there was flood waters gushing down our street, you wouldn't like put the girls in a backpack?
Oh, no. I would take them, yeah.
But if there was an arc saying you have to leave the cats?
Yeah. Then we're all dead. What? I don't understand why this would even be an issue.
You go. Have fun in your new life. Where you can't do.
Exactly.
They'd be
Ricky,
like, sir, we don't want you. You can't even do anything. You literally just said that you can't make anything.
No, I'm a great team player. I'm good to have on your team. I'm a very successful.
How strong are you going to be if there are no dumbbells to sling around and no sardines to eat?
I feel like we're only going to be eating sardines in this situation, in this scenario. But Ricky has a good point. Like, why is there an arc in this scenario? This is my problem with following your train of thought.
I sound like Joe Rogan right now. Biblical disasters right now. Okay.
But generally speaking,
yes.
Even though the news will make it seem like they're all happening at the same time in the same place. They all don't happen at the same time, right? You don't have a wildfire and a flood in the same place.
But there's fires in California, floods in New Jersey.
Yes.
And they're going to meet.
You just go to the Rockies. And you go straight up.
I'm moving to Montana. I'm 100%. I already told my family, like, Montana, I'll just sit in my ranch in my little fireplace while there's a blizzard outside. And that's where I'll be.
And what are you going to eat?
Sardines.
No. And Sonali, I get it. We have multiple natural disasters going on at the same time in this country, but they're not happening in the same place. I think that's what we have to remember. Not that they're not like, both
for now. And we also have a plague. Like,
I don't know what to tell you.
And we had a crazy snowstorm in Seattle in February, and that doesn't happen.
Why is that even being brought up? First off, it wasn't a crazy snowstorm. It was 6 inches of snow.
People died.
In Seattle?
Yeah, it was so cold.
Who died?
Homeless people.
Okay, that's a whole different scenario. They're not prepared, and neither was the city prepared to help them, I guess. Or they just didn't want
I'm
to.
just saying, just YOLO, because you don't know when it's all going to end. Literally, I kept saying in my family group chat, why do we care about anything? Like, why does anyone argue about anything? Because, like, it's clear. Like, I'm telling you right now, I sound crazy. I was on this end of the world train that my 18-year-old niece texted me and goes, one off. She was like, do you actually think it's the end of the world? Because if that's the case, I'm going to get pregnant now. I've always wanted to have a baby. And I was like, don't do that. But also, you're going to have a baby just to die?
Seems like a selfish reason to bring some life into the world.
And she said, when do you think it actually is going to happen? I said, 10 to 30 years.
It's not.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because think about it this way. There's a generation of people that went through either World War I or the Great Depression or World War II, where literally bombs were falling from the sky at an incredible rate.
But that was stoppable. Like, that was humans.
But as bad as things got, they still didn't think the world was going to end.
They just didn't have a Twitch channel to talk about it on.
Yeah, probably. Do I think the world at some point is going to end? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, astrologically speaking, when you talk about the space, at some point the sun is going to grow and gobble up the first 4 planets in its path before it turns into a black hole and dies.
But someone's going to be here for that.
Possibly.
And for that reason,
I'm out. Well, that's like also 3,000 years away or something, or maybe more than that. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think that we need to start YOLOing a little bit more, and obviously be compassionate for one another.
But here's the problem: YOLOing could also contribute.
Well, I'm not outside with spray cans.
Maybe you decide you want to be like an 80s Jersey girl and get your hair 4 feet high, use a whole bottle of Aquanet, and now those CFCs are just eating away at the ozone layer.
Amanda just said, I went on Wikipedia last night to look up when people predicted the end of the world. No one knows. It could be tomorrow.
I feel like it was supposed to end 4 times already. Right? Like, didn't the Aztecs have their date? And then, like, year 2000. I don't know. This is all ridiculous. Just all of it.
We're a little blip.
So we're supposed to leave everyone for their weekend with this nonsense? This
know.
end of the world bullshit?
Oh, my God. What if we were on a trip and the end of the world happened and the girls were stuck here?
Then it wouldn't matter because we'd all be dead.
They have to travel with me.
I think this is the problem with your scenarios, Carla Marie, is not only are you putting all of them together, you're calling it the end of the world. So, like, if everyone's dead, then it doesn't matter what happens to the girls because everyone's dead.
Okay, it's not the end of the world. It's the apocalypse. Is that the same thing?
Kind of, yeah.
But some people live.
Some, depending on the movie that you watch.
Unless there's like a...
What are we talking about?
All I know is that I will keep my emergency backpack for... like bottom level emergencies that are like, we got to get out of the city, the rest of the world is fine. But if it gets bad, like to the point where lots of people are dying,
yes,
it's been fun.
But then you're just going to leave your cats behind?
No, I'm dying with them. Like, literally, we're going to die together.
But what if you die and they make it? Now what?
Cat Daddy's got him because you're apparently getting on the ark. But yeah, Ricky said, on a happier side note, don't forget you can hear me, Ricky, and Erica on the 20-somethings podcast this week. It comes out today.
What the hell?
We did a girls' room.
Are we supposed to do a guys' room?
No, this is part of the 20-somethings new journey.
How come I'm not part of it?
Because it's the girls' room.
I guess she put me on her podcast first, so I'm more important.
No, we actually recorded it first.
Whatever. Yeah, but you weren't broadcasted it first.
We have our own group chat called the girls' room, which
anyway,
we can actually name because you're not in it and it's iPhones only.
That's fantastic. Good for you. Go listen to that. I'm excited to listen to it because I needed something else to listen to today. Don't forget.
What if
we are running up on the very end of our little collaboration with Wax Cabinet Candle Company.
Monday's your last day.
11 different holographic stickers, 9 different scents. You can mix and match whatever you want.
No, we'll be live Monday, Julie.
And we will be here on Monday.
No days off, even though the end of the world is coming. Wait, also, what if in the end of the world only iPhones worked? Would you get an iPhone?
No. Bye.